Welcome back, everybody. This is Uncle Ben. We're going to revisit some of the stuff we were doing in a previous video. Only this time we're going to hopefully do some of it right. I was going to putty right here before I put in our water putty. But actually I think we're going to water putty first, just in case any of it leaks out. You don't, let's see, how do I want to do this? Let's use this. Let's see what this does. That'll work. Now, if you remember last time, I got my, when we were trying to do the heads and get those full of water putty, I got it way too thin, and it didn't work out very well at all. Had a couple guys comment on that while I posted my video to my modeling groups, and they told me, well, one in particular, Jack, the guy who actually sold me the resin heads for these Star Trek figures, says no thinner than pancake batter. So that's the way we're going to go this time, although we're doing something a little different with it this time. I got these, I want to pin this somewhat, and I got these at, see if I got one that I haven't cut. There, right there. I got these at Home Depot, and now this one I cut down quite a bit. To use as a pin, I've never used anything quite like this before, but I'm noticing that it's threaded, and I don't know, it's got some cool stuff about it. It does stick to the magnet inside, but it's a little tough for me to position exactly where I want it. So I'm going to do something. I'm going to try this gel glue, and we're going to see if it'll make it stick in there. I don't know if it will or not. I've never tried to glue metal with super glue. I don't think. I've always used epoxy or contact cement or something different, but let's see what happens. And it's not going to cost anything to find out. You kind of just let it sit there for a minute. I don't know if you can see down in there right now or not, but I'll make sure you get a good look at it before we call her quits. And I already can tell that this isn't really, it's almost like the magnet's dragging it towards the back and not really letting it set up good. That's okay. Let's try another idea. Something a little more inventive. I have all different sizes of clamps. I'm wondering if I clamp it, not jet clamp it. Yeah, only the people out there over 50 is going to get that joke. Well, still going to put me in a position of really having to hold it. I could putty it in there, but and that's another 8 to 24 hours of wait. And patience isn't a virtue that I possess. Let's see. And doing this stuff, it really should be. But hey, that might work. Anyway, no thicker than pancake batter, so I've again taken the liberty of doing the pre-measuring so you don't have to sit there for that. And let's see, I'm going to mix this up a tad thicker. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not 3 to 1. I got it pretty, yeah, that's not enough. But I'm making it pretty thick because, man, that last debacle made me a little gun shy. And it really shouldn't have. I've used this stuff plenty of times before. You normally don't have a problem with it, but I did make it thinner than I've ever made it before, and pancake batter should still pour. So we're going to go a little thinner. And from now on, I'm not going to worry so much about proportions as I am just looking at it, making sure it's right by sight. Now that looks favorable. Still really thick. Just really stir it up really well. Okay, be sure and scrape the sides and the bottom really good. A couple more really good stirs. Tons thicker this time, absolutely. Hopefully it'll pour. Get a little on my clamp. It might even be a little thicker than it had to be, but we'll see. Should break off of everything pretty easily. If it gets on anything. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Don't worry too much about that. If any luck, it'll be hidden. Should be. Looks like we could have still used some on the front end. Really, yeah, it did. This stuff just made me awful gun shy. Let's take a little paper towel here. Keep this from tipping, maybe. And straighten that back up. And let's see, do we want to go a little more? Yeah, I'm going to put just a tad more water. Not too much now. Just a tiny bit. Have me doubts. That seems a little too thin. Bear with me just a moment, if you would. We don't want to go through the same mess we went through before. It's going to be no fun digging it out of there. And just hit it a little bit more. Yeah, pancake batter-ish. Looks like it to me. I don't know what you guys think. I wish I could hear you. We'll go a little bit more with this. Okay. Got us some spoons. Gonna help a little bit, I think. I hope. Hopefully this stuff hasn't got thick. Too thick. Yeah, that's fine. Just kind of. Well, I made a bigger mess than when I poured it. Isn't that great? Gotta love it. Live TV. Just a little bit more. Push around to the front if you can. And I think that'll be all right. Let's see what we got over here. Is this the damage? Yeah. Yuck. That's no big deal though. The sand's pretty easy if you end up having to sand a little bit of it. But most of it, just wipe right off. And I think that'll do that. Now, I have another idea. I know it's scary, isn't it? Let's get this crap off here. All right. Another idea that I had was, here's Scotty's legs. We haven't sanded down that lip yet, by the way. And if I go out of frame, I apologize. I have a tendency to pull my work towards me while I'm working. I don't mean to cut you out. It kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I'm going to pin this to the base that I make for it, eventually anyway, probably through the heels. But I was thinking, as an extra added I don't want to really say precaution, but maybe it is precaution. I'd like for it to have a little bit more holding power than just a pin. So what I'm thinking is to drop some of the what we call the medium-sized magnets, I think, down in there. Take the big magnet. Gotta make sure that we're moving them. Sorry. As far up the toes as we can. That seems to be it. Yeah. Sorry, I did it again. Far up in the toes as we can. We'll go back and make sure on that in a minute. And then start pouring, because we were going to put this in the bottom too, the water putty, and okay, yeah, what a mess. Okay, I'm going to put this in here again. Boy, that's really thickened up. Doesn't take it long. See, that's more along the lines of how it's supposed to set up and how fast, instead of being 24 hours and did nothing. But it's a tad watery, isn't it? Man, I wouldn't be going through all this. I'm so gun shy with this stuff. It's funny. Trying to find that perfect ratio and alright. Yeah, that's good. And I just wanna we're gonna really fill these better in a bit. these legs. But right now, I just want enough on both sides to hang those magnets on, or to hold those magnets in. A better way of saying it, I guess. And let's see, that should just about do it. But be sure, can't see down in there, even with light. That's pretty easy. And see, where we go. Now, just kind of make sure you got them dragged in there really good. Just to make sure that that stuff is going all the way down into the toes. Let's plunge it a little bit with a stick. As thick as that is, it could really get an air pocket going in there. And so, and okay, see, that one's down in, that's not even in the toe, that's in the heel. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that now. However, it's fine if it is. It's not a big deal. I just thought that the heel was thicker, and I'd rather have it in a thin spot, but looks like it wants to do something altogether different. Well, looks like we got it. Now I wanted in the thinnest piece of plastic that we can find on the foot because, well, for one thing, I want it to, the other magnet that'll be holding it onto the base, it's actually going to have part of the base in between the two, probably, unless I just embed the magnet down in there. I'll show you what I'm talking about in another video. Now that's good, that's down in the thin part. And another reason I really didn't want it in the heel is because, okay, I just figured something out about my camera. What's going on is it's cutting off at about 9 minutes and 41 seconds on its own every time. So I downloaded a timer that's over here on my computer monitor screen that you can't see right now, and it's going to go off at 9 minutes and 10 seconds, and that'll let me know that we're almost out of time. So here we go. Hopefully this will work and make things better for us. What I was saying was another reason why I wanted to not have the magnets in the heel so much as maybe have them in the flat part here was because he's got Kiss boots on, and Dr. McCoy's are even worse. And what's bad is Spock is the smallest character. They're all supposed to be 1/6 scale, but that's malarkey because they're not. Spock's the shortest one, and he has almost no heel, but he's also a little slighter built than the others, and he should be the taller one. So we may have to sand some of these heels off. I don't know. On some of them, we'll see. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. By the way, this is rock hard now. We've done it correctly, because I mean it's just as hard as it can be. The reason why we didn't go ahead and fill the legs all the way up earlier, there was a method to my madness, and that is, and I don't think I can show you this, but they, even though I used a blow dryer on it and, you know, spread the legs apart, they still need to be spread apart a little bit more. They're not touching the ground correctly. Since it's an action shot, I mean, I guess they don't have to be flat, but that's how I want them. And so I'm going to have to be able to fill them from about just above the soles all the way up to nearly the top, in order for them. This is my theory. The water putty, once it hardens, will hold them apart where I want them. If I slip this, it's just a clamp. I'm going to slip it between the legs and spread them apart just a little bit more. It's not much. And we're going to pour some more water putty down there, this time enough to nearly fill it. Okay, that's so thick it's not going to pour, but I'm going under instead of over on the water, because of the way the water putty abused us before. No, actually it's a good product. It's just I screwed up. Yeah, that's good. So let's go ahead. And I'm going to use trusty stick to make sure that we're getting it down there the way we need to. So it just doesn't catch the air and sort of float on top of it. I really want it to get down in there, or we're doing all this for nothing. A little more. Really making sure it gets down in those legs. We'll see that'll do it. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit, top it off, get as close to the top as possible, because at this point I don't think this is going to swell as thick as I got it, but I gave it a little room in case it does. And hopefully you can see this. I'm going to pour a little bit more in there because it could sure take some more. Oh, I got in too big a hurry. I wasn't supposed to pour the legs yet, but it's okay. Nothing we can't fix. What I was actually going to do was wait till this hardened, pour the legs, and then set this on top of there. With this already sanded off, but that's okay, we're alright. Nothing going on here we can't work with. No, or so I thought. That's alright, we're okay. And pour a little of that out. Ended up having to screw around with that more than I wanted to anyway. Yeah. Okay. So see if I can just pour all of it. Most of it. Not really all of it, just most of it. I guess you can't see that. I'm not missing much. Me making a mess. Okay. Because we got to get a good amount of the legs and this upper part of his pelvis all in one pour, so it's a solid piece, or it's not going to hold those legs apart. In this one, it's not as big a deal, but there's a couple of them where it really is. But we'll see. It's probably going to be alright either way. Just a second. I wasn't prepared for this because I didn't know I was going to make still another error like that. But just a little bit of water. Get that junk off there. Okay. Actually, it's shutting off a little sooner than 9 minutes and 40 seconds. So from now on, we're going to go every 8 minutes and 30 seconds. See if that helps. We'll get it figured out eventually. For some reason, that's as it's actually saying it's running till 9 minutes and 40 seconds, but it stops recording a little sooner than that. I do have this thing downloaded on my computer, which will have a little alarm go off. It'll tell me that we're reaching 0 hour on the camera, so we shouldn't have any more problems. Okay, this is emptied out to the point that we'll have a pretty solid piece when I re-pour it and get the legs and the pelvis all in one piece. Something I had forgot about earlier. And this is I topped this off, and it's getting hard, and I forgot to show you beforehand, it's really hard underneath, and this is the more freshly poured stuff, and all of this has happened within a couple hours, so it's really curing hard this time. What we'll be doing next is taking this down, the lip that isn't going to hold it well enough to make me happy. So we're going to take the lip off the pants, and then said lip off the pants, and then fill this up and turn this upside down Of course, this will all be hard. And put that down into the water putty that's in there. Glue this to the pants. Water putty will harden around this, and this is all theoretic now, and should have a really nice hold on these two pieces together. I've decided that because I'm having to mix this so much more thicker to make sure that it works the way I want it to, that when we go back to the vinyl heads, I'm going to go ahead and use plaster of Paris on that. Yeah, I just am. I'm not going to be happy any other way, because this stuff is having to be mixed so thick, and I'm not going to be able to get it down this little hole. But plaster of Paris, yeah, no problem. I'll get it right down in there, and really less of a hassle. This stuff is harder, but it's a little different to deal with too, and plaster of Paris will be fine for those heads. They don't need to be any harder than that anyway, because they're going to be on a model. We're not paying kickball with them or anything. I'm going to shut it down for now, and maybe have a slice of pizza. I'm not sure if I'm going to add any more to this video or not. I don't want to do another 50-minute video like the last one was, because gosh, that takes forever to upload to YouTube. Oh my god. I think it was like 5 hours to upload to YouTube, and that's just I'm too old for that. I don't have the patience. So this is probably it for this video. We'll continue on in the next one. Thanks for watching this far if you did, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a nice evening.